What can you tell us from your vantage point?
What I can tell you is that this is an area where we are standing in that isn't quite totally burned, but everything towards the water, I guess so. Everything west has already burned. A few spot fires here and there. As you can see to my left, which would be north, an entire line of the fire all the way down the hillside, and we have a little spot fire here right in front of us, burning up some of this some of these brush that is just dry, hasn't been touched yet, but there is an entire dozer line and a trailhead right behind us as to how we walked here. 5 minutes ago we were just up on the hill by some of the hand crews, and we just saw actually another deployment of a few gentlemen come here just a couple of minutes ago in this truck right behind me. A few of them got their hand crew gear and they were ready to rock. As actually a huge flare-up just happened right on the hillside, if you can see it, because the one thing I've been talking about since I've gotten up here is the wind closer to this fire has been very up and down. Right now, the wind is picking up, and you can see that hillside, which just 30 seconds ago was kind of calm, has now kind of picked up.
Chance, we've been talking so much about these spot fires. Have you actually witnessed a spot fire start in front of you where you are? You're next to where it's so active. I'm wondering if you've actually witnessed something that started from nothing and then all of a sudden a spot fire has grown.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can remember, and I know so many people are joining at different times as helicopters continue to go above me and doing water drops. The one spot fire that really picked up that we saw from scratch was the one that was up on top of the hillside off Via Gatero, where we originally started this journey tonight, and we have now since walked up to the hill, and we are actually behind where that little spot fire had started. It has since just turned to ash and little embers, but now we are over the hill where the front of this fire is, and as you can see, it has just flared up here in the last 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 seconds right here in front of our eyes.
Have you seen any drops happening? We know the helicopters are up and making drops. Have you seen any drops on this fire that's so active?
The one that just flared up in front of us, no. I can't say that the drops have been on this one, but they have been behind us, maybe more of the south side of these hills. But as far as an airdrop on this one currently, as you can just you can start to hear it from where we are, how the flames have really picked up. Have not seen an airdrop on this area as we've been up on top of the hill here.
What about your proximity to houses or buildings? Can you tell us how far away you are, and can you gauge for us, how close the flames are to any homes in the area?
From where I'm located, and I'm really sorry, I don't want to approximate anything that I'm not 100% sure on. But if I look behind us from where the big fire just started going, and you can kind of see down on the city in which there isn't much flame near the lights, near the structures down below. If I had to make a guesstimate, I would say that's at least a couple of miles that way to the south of us. As helicopters have started to actually come over into this area where the fire just started breaking out and the flames started to get really high on that hillside. And again, I'm sorry, I just don't want to. I don't want to say in proximity of where and which, just because I don't know 100%.
Right. No, that's totally fair and smart of you. So we appreciate your perspective that you're giving us. Chance, you're doing a fabulous job. With the hand crews that you saw earlier, can you tell us what happened with them and where they went?
They were meeting. It looked like it was sort of a regroup, as Dave said, huddled up to see exactly what to target next. They were in their situation. They were in their huddle, trying to figure out what to do next and where to go next. As to where they actually decided to go, we have no idea. Helicopter right now going over, and you can see an amazing drop going on the fire. It looks like it actually just put out one of the big flames.
Wow. They are the accuracy that they have at night with the winds. I do not understand how they do it. Again, we keep saying they are so skilled It is so impressive to watch them work. And then we've got the aerial air view there, the bird's eye that he's really getting. We could only put a camera on that guy. That'd be interesting.
Wow. So Chance, just again, to sort of orient us where you are, south would be looking down toward the city and toward the water. And are you on the east side of Highway 154 then?
Yeah, yes, we are on the east side of 154. As you can kind of tell with the housing, exactly what you said, Richard. Housing to the south of us,
Oh, wow.
the water also in that direction as well. And that is exactly where you saw the airdrop. And what you didn't see right away was that there was actually a bulldozer right down there trying to clear out that area. So yeah, you talk about precision.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be precise with that flame, but you also have to remember that your own men and women are right down there as well.
It's incredible what we just saw right there.
It looks like the dozer driver is driving right through the flames,
Right.
basically.
And then with the precision
He is.
with
Yep,
with the
absolutely.
dozers, they know exactly the path that they're trying to cut, and there he goes right around it, and trying to stop this fire from spreading anymore by cutting these breaks. It's incredible to watch them work.
I'm assuming because we're seeing the dozer operator there and the water drop all at the same time that this must be one of the most active portions of the fire.
From our vantage point, yes. That where those two flare-ups have been, and where you see the helicopters coming and doing their airdrops, that is probably one of the more active spots. And then originally, about 3 to 4 to 5 minutes ago, when you guys saw that hillside start to flare up as the wind was coming, I would say that's definitely the part that has been going steady and probably the hardest, the longest in the time that we've been here.
Chance, it almost looks like you might be
You
at
can
a.
actually.
Oh wow, look at that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can actually kind of see it starting to flare up more on the top side of the hill,
Yeah.
sort of where the hand crews had been walking from. So again, with the wind, it's unpredictable, and you never know when it's going to totally pick up and in what direction. And right now, it looks like it's fading a little southwest.
Yeah, it's unpredictable.
And there's a spot fire you just talked about. Karina, you asked me if I had seen one, any pop up. I talked about the one that was behind us, and here's one right here that has just started right behind us, with the flames, and there's going to be a helicopter probably coming right over the top of us. Not sure if it's going to airdrop there, obviously, but this is a spot fire that just popped up behind us.
But that's an incredible view right there, because this is exactly what we've been talking about. Those embers coming off of this spot fire are now being carried away by the wind, and that's exactly what is starting these spot fires. The ember then goes and lands on some other dry brush, and here we go, another spot fire. And you think spot fire might be a small little flare up, but as we saw right now, we haven't been on with you very long, and that has flared into quite the fire in just a short amount of time that we've been talking with you.
No, absolutely. They just kind of pop up as we go. More hand crews are now filing in behind us as they, are either going out or coming back from their duty. And yeah, I mean, that entire hillside that we first originally started on this shot, you can see dozer lines and actually hoses trying to put out the bottom of this fire on the hillside with a few crews down there, a couple hand crews. The wind is now actually kind of died down a little bit, but yeah, spot fires are kind of picking up here and there around this area.
It seems like you might be at a semi-staging area. It looks like you've got trucks and hand crews, dozers, kind of gathering where you are. Have you noticed that they're kind of a little bit of a staging area where you are?
Yeah, actually, within the last probably half hour of us coming up on top of the hill, I would say we've seen probably 5 to 7 more vehicles come through this area, from bulldozers to crews to trucks, fire trucks, hand crews even coming by. It's definitely gotten a little more busy in this area. When we first arrived, however many minutes ago, it wasn't as active with equipment, with people, with trucks, with crews. Now it's starting to pick up a little bit, and as the wind has kind of picked up, and as some of the flares behind Kenny Nichols here have started to flare up, and you can see that there's crews at the bottom of the hill just working on the flames that are kind of coming down.
I know this is difficult to sort of assess from your standpoint, but just from your perspective, can you tell at all if it's laying down at all tonight, or does it look pretty active? Does it look like the same amount of glow that you saw when you arrived?
No, that's a great question, Richard. And it's kind of a hit or miss question, and I'm going to give you probably a hit or miss answer. At times, right now, it looks like it's kind of laying down a little bit. It doesn't look like it has too much movement, But 10 minutes ago, when we first arrived on this shot, it kind of looked like this, and then all of a sudden the wind picked up and it started to move again. But it looks like from the bottom of this hill, and you could probably start to get a better shot as Kenny and I move forward, of crews trying to stop it from going down, and you can see there is a hose going on the bottom of that fire right now, right at the bottom of the hill, trying to stop it. So at times it looks like it's going to lay, and then all of a sudden it kind of picks back up. But this entire area that you're looking at has already been burned through, but you can just see that fire line trickling and kind of weaving and snaking its way down the hill and then up onto the top of the hillside. So the crews have done, you can tell they've done an amazing job in the points where they've been. And we have a helicopter coming right above us again. And there's another airdrop.
Again, it's amazing.
It's incredible to watch the precision.
Yeah.
And that was the spot fire that we had just saw pop up, and that's the one that they just put it on.
Chance, great job. Really appreciate your coverage out there. I think you're adding a lot of perspective for us. We'll check back with you in a minute. We're going to talk